We are here for some awesome game day bingo. We're super excited to be here live with you guys as we're going to be streaming onto those Pilot TVs, Player Connect app, pilotgames.com/Pilot TV, YouTube Live, as well as the Twitch app. Our channel name is MegaSota on both YouTube Live and Twitch.
Absolutely. We would love for you guys to check us out on all of our different streaming platforms. So let us know where you guys are watching us at. We are super excited to start this Monday off right with some game day bingo. So hopefully all of you guys out there are getting enrolled in the next 15 seconds. We have got plenty of cash prizes on the line that hopefully you guys will be able to take home today. And we want to highlight a couple of our great jackpot players who ended up taking home those prizes just this past weekend. We ended up being able to give out 7 different jackpots this past weekend, making the last total for the last week about 13 different jackpots. And for the entirety of season 15, already we're sitting at 54 different jackpots.
Yeah, some great stuff went out this weekend. But before we get into weekend jackpots, let's talk about the jackpots we're getting after right here, right now.
All
As
right.
we have an awesome major prize that is sitting at $5,192. 53 balls or less to be able to take that one home. We are definitely keeping our eye out on that great jackpot prize, as it is covering up that minor, as you can win it at any ball count earlier than 53, and you'll be taking home that major unless you get it all the way to 49 balls or less, as we got that mega prize that's grown over the last few weeks, $46,605. Looking great there as well. Even if we move past all of our jackpot prizes, we will have a $10.70 must-go prize, as all those jackpots would grow and roll into the next game, with the minor prize clicking up from 52 to 54 balls or less, suddenly becoming available in this game. Should be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. We can't wait to see what kind of jackpots will be given out today. So make sure you guys are sticking around and playing through the entirety of what we have in store. We were talking about some great jackpot players who ended up taking home prizes just this past weekend. And to kick off our jackpots on Friday, we want to highlight Golden Girl. They're playing over at the Mapleview Lounge 2 when they got to take home $7,157.
Congratulations to you, Golden Girl, taking home an awesome prize. As just last week we were celebrating the most iconic of the Golden Girls'
Yes.
birthday, Betty White's birthday, last week. So awesome that we had Golden Girl out there paying a little homage to that awesome celebrity birthday, as they won $7,000. The second jackpot to go out on that Friday went out to Andrea over at Elsie's Bar and Grill, Caledonia, taking home $1,250, as they split up a $2,500 prize with Nora over at the Doghouse at Maplewood. Nora also took home $1,250 in that game as well. Great job to you, Andrea and Nora, taking home an awesome jackpot prize and a little pilot payday action.
Absolutely awesome stuff. Nicely done. Before we talk about any more jackpots that went out this past weekend, we have a winner right here, as Phil M at the Sportsman's Pub is taking home this game number one prize of $10.70. Nicely done taking home that must go prize. We have all three of these jackpots moving and grooving into a game number two, and we have even more jackpot winners that we need to highlight from just this past weekend.
Absolutely. We need to highlight some more winners, as we have one final jackpot that went out on that Friday, as we had a big dog worm over at American Legion Adams, taking home $7,770. The largest jackpot of the entire weekend, going out to Big Dog Worm.
Nicely done, Big Dog Worm. That was a great prize they
In-
got to take home.
Interesting name as well. One of the more unique ones I've seen out there.
Yeah, I definitely would have to agree. Nicely done to Big Dog Worm. Next up, we had one jackpot on Saturday going out, and it was going out to Monsty, who was playing over at Pappy's Place when they got to take home $7,278. Just another huge jackpot to make its way into a player's pocket this weekend.
Good job to Monsty taking home that nice prize. Then we get started into Sunday's jackpots, as we start off with a great winner, Cheese, over at the Beartown Lounge. They took home $5,891. Great job to you, Cheese.
Nicely done, as we had one final jackpot winner from this past weekend. It was Pro Ball 77. They played over at the Pizza Man Farmington when they got to take home $1,186. Nicely done to Pro Ball 77 and the entirety of that list of jackpot winners from this past weekend.
It's definitely been a lot of fun to watch those jackpots go out, and we're hoping to see some awesome jackpots go out in this game right here. We got a 54 ball or less minor prize that has finally become winnable for you guys, as it sits at 54 balls or less. You have to win it at exactly the 54th ball to drop, as if you win it any earlier than that at 53 balls or less, you'll be taking home the major prize of $5,206. The mega prize is sitting at $46,618 at 49 balls or less as we continue to get enrolled into this game. But if you're not getting enrolled into this game, may I suggest you guys checking out our newest E-Tab game, Raging Snowman. Immerse yourself in the midst of the snowstorm. Engage in the exciting snowball toss. And don't forget to share your thoughts once you've experienced the adventure firsthand.
Absolutely. It's definitely a lot of fun. Go and check out Raging Snowman wherever you guys play Pilot games. That is an awesome eTab game for you guys to go and check out. If you guys want to be up to date with when we are releasing those new eTab games, heading on over to our Facebook page and giving us a like and follow will surely keep you up to date. Not just with our eTab games, but with our weekly bingo schedules, event details, big progressives, sending in those amazing player pictures, and even going and seeing out that link tree. If you guys go and click on our website link at the top of our Facebook page, it's got direct links to all of our social media like Twitter and Instagram, all of our streaming platforms, pgl.world, and even a map that's been updated recently of all the locations around Minnesota that you guys can go and check out Pilot Games at.
Yeah, so many options with that link, as well as that bar locations tab where you can see all your locations. You can also scroll through some options on the location that you select and even see what charity you're supporting, as we're always talking about how you support your community by playing Pilot games. You can actually find out how you're supporting your community by heading on over to that awesome Google Map sheet and seeing, just scroll down a little bit. You'll see a little charity tab for you to look at, and you'll see the charity that you're supporting, which is, I just think, an awesome option for you guys to get to know a little bit more of what you're doing here with Pilot Games.
Absolutely. It's the whole reason why we get to be here each day with you guys, giving out these great prizes and doing great things for your community as well. Hopefully, you guys are sticking around and checking out Pilot Games all day long as we have a ton of fun prizes on the line as you continue to do good for the areas around you. We want to run through the entirety of our bingo schedule for what you guys can expect on your day to day as we jump into the first games of the day, Game Day Bingo. We run this each and every day from 12 to 1, where you guys go after this awesome minor, major, and mega jackpot with that must go prize always on the line, too. At 1 p.m., Ian and I will be going off air with you guys, but you guys will continue on your bingo day, jumping into your first opportunity for Lucky 4 Bingo today that's got over $115,000 on the line, the biggest jackpot on the line today.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Then you'll hop into more unhosted game day bingo running from 1 to 4. Once again, getting after that minor, major, and mega prize. Whatever prizes me and Jordy couldn't give out during this lunchtime. But during this lunchtime, we're trying to give out a nice Musco prize of $13.20. And we got some players, and there it is. Terry S. over at a Rax Bar in Spring Valley is taking home $13.20. Great job to you, Terry S., as we now get enrolled into this game number 3. In this game number 3, that minor prize is clicking up from 54 to 56 balls or less, getting more exciting each and every game we try and give it out. So don't miss out as we continue to play these games and highlight the games that we'll be playing in the future during this live bingo.
Absolutely. You'll definitely want to be sticking around as we run through some more game day bingo from that 1 to 4 time. At that 4 p.m. time, you'll get your second opportunity for Lucky 4 bingo before Ian and I will be back live for a little happy hour action. That's right, from 4 to 6 today, we'll be running through some great games of game day bingo from that 4 to 6 time. At 6 p.m., Ian and I will once again go off air, but you'll have your final opportunity for Lucky 4 bingo today at 6 p.m.
Yeah, if it didn't go out at 1 or at 4 p.m., it will be the largest jackpot of the day available at 6 p.m. So it should be a lot of fun. Then you'll hop into more game day bingo that runs from 6 all the way till 10, going after that minor, major, and mega prize. Once again, as you do throughout the entirety of the day. But sometimes we like to interrupt that 6 to 10 game day bingo with some PGL specialty nights. The first one coming up this week is actually coming tomorrow night, and that's MegaSota Game Night. It gets started at 6:40 every single Tuesday. Tony and Nikki will be there giving out a bunch of PGL points as well as a bunch of great prizes. They'll be ending off their night with a little game called Jackpot Jungle, where you could take home a $24,448 grand grand finale prize in 54 balls or less. Should be a lot of fun as you guys play that awesome PGL action. Getting started at 6:40 tomorrow.
Absolutely. It is a lot of fun. Make sure you guys are coming on out for their awesome specialty night. We also have one that happens each and every Wednesday night that Ian and I have the privilege of hosting, our Wild Wednesdays. You guys can check that out each and every Wednesday at 7 p.m. We have our own tournament style games and PGL points to be awarded. So you guys better come on out and check out each one and let us know what is your favorite night to play on.
Yeah, it's definitely a great one to come out for. Me and Jordy personally love those Wild Wednesdays as
Oh, yeah.
those
We get a
are
little wild.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Should be a lot of fun. As our Wild, I think, play tomorrow night. They don't get to play on our Wild Wednesday,
Okay.
but we'll be highlighting that game on that Wild Wednesday. Should be a lot of fun. Don't forget, sign up at pgl.world so you can earn points for those nights. We got just 10 seconds before we are in this upcoming game of Game Day Bingo. 56 balls or less for the minor, 53 balls or less for the major, and 49 balls or less for the mega. As we continue to get after it, we do have some national days we'd like to highlight as we celebrate National Polka Dot Day. Display your fashion sense on January 22nd and celebrate National Polka Dot Day. The day also honors one of animation's most popular characters and fashion divas, Minnie Mouse, famous for wearing the polka dot.
Absolutely. I was a big fan of Minnie Mouse when I was a wee girl, and I had my own pink polka dot dress. I was a big fan of polka dots in general. It was one of my preferred patterns as a young girl. I remembered loving going to Disney World and seeing Minnie's house for the first time. I wanted a replica of it as my playhouse.
Uh
I thought
huh.
it was super cute. Everything was pink. Some things had polka dots. There was a fake fridge in there that was super cute. I just loved the entirety of Minnie's world. And I really opened my eyes to polka dots, I think. And she definitely had some influence on my young girl style,
Yeah.
as it was that as well as the song that my family always sang. She wore an itsy bitsy
Oh,
teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini.
yes.
That really stuck with me as I had a yellow polka dot bikini, and now it has since become a tradition that every year when we decorate gingerbread men,
Yes.
I have to put one in a teeny weeny yellow polka dot
You
bikini.
have to. It
I
just
have
it
to.
has. It's part of. It's almost.
It is
It's
tradition.
one of the most funny like little holiday traditions I've ever seen. As it's like so not Christmas, but
No.
it makes so much sense to just have it be a tradition because it's really funny to see all these Christmas themed cookies all around, and it's just Santa, it's the moon, it's snow,
I
it's all these
know.
like white crystally snowflake cookies, and
Yeah.
then there's a little man in a little gingerbread woman in a little polka dot bikini. It's
Well,
hilarious.
it's so funny because my mom will always like bake hundreds of sugar cookies for us to
Uh huh.
decorate, and then she will be like, I'm tired. I'm gonna go sit over there and read.
Uh huh.
You guys will decorate the cookies. And so I have to get creative, and some moons become bananas. And
Yeah, it's great. We do have Don over at Dick's Bar and Grill taking home a nice $18.10 Musco prize. Great job to you, Don, as we now get enrolled into a game number 4 of Game Day Bingo. In this game number 4, that minor prize will be clicking up from 56 to 58 balls or less, continuing to have a lot of fun as we get on through these games. But yeah,
polka dots.
polka dots super fun. I've never been one to wear the polka dot
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a
or
trend that
or
you would get
rock the
on.
polka dot. I've always found it really cool that basically comic books are a bunch of polka dots.
Hmm.
Which is just like a really insane thing to me to think that like each of those are just little tiny dots all.
Art that's made out of that point work is
Yes,
just insane to me
it
in
is. It
general.
is super crazy.
But polka dots in general have been a fan favorite pattern for decades now, especially in the early 2000s. They were really big. I feel like when they were creating young girl fashion in like the age of a limited 2 days, in like the Bobby Jack days
Uh
and
huh.
everything, there was so much polka dot.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like we don't nearly use polka dot the same way we used to.
No, no, polka dot used to be so much more popular during its time. Definitely a great one on today to highlight National polka dot day.
Absolutely.
Next up, we have a very important one, but a little bit a very serious one, as it's National Sanctity of Human Life Day. On January 22nd each year, National Sanctity of Human Life Day recognizes the value of every human life. The day celebrates human life from the moment of conception and is set on the anniversary of the 1973. Oh, definitely a interesting one on today. We don't make political stands here, and so we definitely celebrate the sanctity of human life here, and so we can celebrate that on today. Maybe not necessarily exactly what we are talking about on today.
That's all right. We can celebrate national our last national day actually to talk about with you guys, and that is National Blonde Brownie Day. This is one that I don't feel gets talked about nearly almost ever, as National Blonde Brownie Day on January 22nd recognizes the treat that's often referred to as the blondie.
Yeah, definitely an awesome one on today. I've never heard it be called a blonde brownie,
Yeah,
as
it's
I've
always the
yeah,
blondie.
only been heard it called the blondie. Blondies are fun. They're not as good as brownies, but I think they're a fun little substitute every once in a while to
I don't
have
know if
a.
I've ever had a blondie.
You've never had a blondie?
No.
Well, I would. I don't think you would enjoy it as much as you would.
Yeah, because I feel like the thing I've had that's comparable to this was just like sheet cookies that were cut into squares.
Mm.
But I've never had a blondie. I really don't even know what the difference is. It resembles a chocolate brownie, but it substitutes vanilla in place of cocoa, and it contains brown sugar instead of confection sugar.
Yeah, definitely, and
I might like it.
it's an interesting take.
Blondies with white chocolate chips would be yummy.
Yeah, I don't I always wonder because you're a pretty hit or miss when it comes to white chocolate. Either you like it or you're like, it's too much for me.
Yeah,
With the white
typical.
chocolate, and
Yeah,
usually, I found that the white chocolate in blondies are a little much,
this is
and
just a super sweet dessert.
yeah, you might find it just a little tinge too sweet for your liking. Not to say that you wouldn't enjoy it, anyways,
I'm a yeah, yeah.
but I just don't think it would be your favorite. Like if you had to
It's hard to
choose
be
it,
a classic brownie for me. A classic chewy
absolutely
fudgy brownie that has like
fresh out the
chocolate
oven.
chunks in it. It's maybe even my favorite dessert of all
If it's
time.
fresh out the oven and you could put a
Scoop
scoop
of
of
vanilla.
vanilla, oh, jinx, jinx.
I know what we're doing today.
Absolutely delicious stuff. Well, have yourself not the brownie, but the blondie on today, as it's National Blondie Day. You know, we're always having the brownie. Switch it up a little bit by having the blondie on today.
I have had a blondie.
Not a bad one.
I have had a blondie now that I think about it.
Oh,
My grandmother used to make blondies, but she would do them with raspberries and white chocolate chips throughout it. And so
oh,
I
okay.
didn't know what it was. We just typically had it with our
Uh
coffee
huh.
in the morning. She'd have it as like a little breakfast dessert thing.
Yum.
And that was super, super tasty, but I can't remember what she called it. She had a weird name for it.
Yeah, that's super funny. I've only had them with like maybe like macadamia nuts in them.
See,
That's
I don't think I've ever had a macadamia nut cookie.
yeah. See, it's a very similar. I
I've
think of
never had
them
one.
kind of very similar
I've
in
always
certain
wanted to buy
senses.
one from Subway when I was younger, just to try it.
We do have a winner here as $23.20 is going out to our longtime
Ooh,
player
ooh.
Nan over at Corky's Bar South Haven. Great job to you, Nan, as we now get enrolled into this game number 5 of Game Day Bingo. In this game 5, we'll have a minor jackpot at 60 balls or less, probably over $200 by the time we get enrolled into this upcoming game. So do not miss out on this great action. And that's not to forget about the major prize sitting at 53 balls or less and the mega prize at 49 balls or less. We're keeping our eye out on all these prizes as we continue to play this awesome lunchtime bingo.
Absolutely. And as you guys continue to get enrolled in what will be our fifth game here of Game Day Bingo, we want to talk a little bit about our twins and who is the all time Minnesota Twins home run leader.
Yeah, do you know? Did you look
No,
at the answer? Do you
no,
have any guess
no,
of who it could be out of all the legends that we've ever talked about?
no.
Yeah. Well, I already know since I put together this script. Harmon Killebrew with 559 home runs. Probably the biggest name in Twins history, as he's just obviously the. I mean, if you talk to any of your grandparents about who their favorite player to watch was when they were fans of the Twins, it's Harmon Killebrew. Absolutely great stuff. And the Twins legend, and kind of an obvious answer, but one for us who maybe Jordy, who hasn't been a Twins fan for very long, would not get. So the more you know, now Jordy knows about the legend Harmon Killebrew, as it is like he was born to be a star with the name Harmon Killebrew. Like
Absolutely.
that sounds like a main villain name.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like he's like the villain in the sports story that like hits the home run that you lose the championship game to, but your team comes together still to like
Yeah. To
to,
rally
to
anyway.
rally anyways. Yeah, whatever it is. Well, a great job, Harvard Killebrew, Twins legend. If you guys want to get some Twins action, play the great ETAB game Twins Win. It's super fun as we're talking about home runs. You can actually check out the home run derby bonus round
That's
and see if
right.
you can hit them like Harmon Killebrew and pick out the lucky batter and take home a grand slam prize.
Absolutely awesome stuff. Definitely go and check that out wherever you guys play pilot games. You can also check out Game Day Bingo that is themed after our Twins, our Vikings, and sometimes even our Wild. But no matter the time of day that you guys come out to play, you guys get to take home cash prizes as well as points towards the Game Day Bingo standings.
Yeah, let's get started into these game day bingo standings as we're going to hop into the player side of these standings. We have the top 9 players, as I'm pretty sure 10th place is about a 13-way tie with 11,000 points or 10,000 points it was. So
Crazy.
lots of players that could work their way into this top 10. So make sure you guys are getting after it. But 9th place, we start off with someone coming from unranked into this spot. Hi Jen over at JR Mac sits with 12,000 points. With 13,000 points, we have a two-way tie in 7th between former 4th place player Mike over at Sherwood Lounge and former 6th place player Rock Ryder over at the Incline Station Bowling Center. Congratulations for both being in 7th. 5th place is another two-way tie. Moving up from unranked, it's Cheese over at the Beartown Lounge. As moving back from 4th into 5th, it's Stingray over at the Lodge on Lake Mazaska. They both have 14,000 points. 4th place, moving up from 3rd, passing up Stingray, we have Snowflake. No, getting pushed back from 3rd into 4th, we have Snowflake over at Eagles Rochester with 115,000 points. Moving up though from 6th into 3rd, passing up Stingray, Snowflake, as well as others, we got the Underground Bar and Grill. Brizo at the Underground Bar and Grill with 17,000 points. With 24,000 points in 2nd place, we have Ben W over at L&M Bar. As our number 1 player is Call Me Jen over at JR Mac with a whopping 60,000 points. Congratulations to the reigning champion trying to win another season as they lead the charge in this season 15.
Well, they're on the right track to do so, and so we'll have to see if anybody's going to be competing for that first place spot with them. On the location side of things, we start off with a tie in 9th place. It's between Moe's, Eagles Albert Lay, and Beerstoof Inver Grove Heights as they all sit with 23,000 points. Then in 7th, we have a tie between Duffy's Bar and Grill, as well as the Double Wide. They both are currently sat with 24,000 points. Then there was a tie that was just formed in 5th place between the Underground Bar and Grill, as well as the Medford Liquor Store. No, yes,
No.
no. In 6th place now, they got kicked out. And it's the Underground Bar and Grill as they currently sit with 25,000 points. And having sole possession of that 5th place spot is the Medford Liquor Store as they sit with 26,000. Then in 4th place, we have VFW Spring Lake Park as they currently sit with 29,000 points. And before I talk about our top 3, we do have our winner here.
Yeah, Double D over at VFW Spring Lake Park is taking home $23.90 on that Musco prize. Great job to you, Double D, as we now get enrolled into this next game, a game number 6 of Game Day Bingo. This will be the halfway point of our games as we try and give out a minor jackpot at 62 balls or less. We'll see if we can finally do that in this game 6. As you guys continue to get enrolled, we'll continue to highlight those top 5 locations in Game Day Bingo.
Absolutely. And the top 3 I have to
Oh,
cover. As in 3rd place, we have Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards as they have 34,000 points. While with 39,000 in 2nd place, it's the L&M Bar. But in 1st place with a sizable gap separating them, it's J.R. Mack leading the charge with 87,000 points on the season.
well, great job to JR Mac as well as Call Me Jen, just dominating in that game day bingo opportunities. But if you guys aren't playing those game day bingo opportunities, maybe immerse yourself in the magnificence of E-Tabs with Sherlock Holmes. It's one of which has 3 bonus rounds that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Behold the esteemed top 10 players who dominated last week's Where's Watson's challenge.
Absolutely awesome stuff. And we have that top 10 to talk about as there is a tie going on in ninth between Player as well as BHZ. Both are tied up with 1,720 points. While in eighth place, we got none other than Big Germ. They currently sit with 1,740 points. Then, with 1,760 points in seventh place, we have Zach. Sixth place is Cassie, and as well as Sunny, as they are both tied up with 1,780 points. Nicely done to Sunny and Cassie. Now, in fourth place, I should say, is TS, as they currently sit with 1,800 points. Then in third place, we've got Player, who currently sits with 1,820 points. With 1,980 points in second place, we have VFW Post 1216. And in first, we have Tastin, who's currently sat with 2,040 points. Nicely done, and make sure you guys are going and checking out that Where's Watson Skill Challenge bonus round to try your hand at getting in those standings.
Yeah, well, if Sherlock Holmes isn't the kind of E-Tab game you like to play, don't worry. There's over 70 different shareable E-Tab games that you can play anytime and win huge prizes up to $1,500. All games have small bets between 50 cents and $5 with awesome bonus and free play rounds in those games. We'd love for you to check them out. So make sure you guys are checking out that awesome newest E-Tab game, Raging Snowman, as well as all those other great ones that you can play as you guys are looking through them.
Absolutely. Definitely go and check out all the different ones we have to offer and let us know which one is your favorite. You can shoot us a message on our social media. We would love to hear your feedback. As you guys are officially in this round number six, though, if you guys didn't know, a few things happened on today in music history. Just like in 1977, when Stevie Wonder's I Wish hits number one in America.
Ooh, Stevie Wonder always having those big time hits, and all of his songs were just really, really entertaining. I wish one of those great ones.
Absolutely.
Definitely an awesome one on today in music history. Next up on music history, one that I feel like we can talk a little bit more about on
Hmm.
1984. What goes better with football than Barry Manilow?
What?
The Mandy singer performs the national anthem at Super Bowl in the Super Bowl in Tampa, Florida. Disney handles the halftime show. Definitely an interesting one on today. Super Bowl performances are just super fun, and so it's going to be it's always entertaining to find out who is going to be the Super Bowl performers. As I wonder who's going to be doing the national anthem this year.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's doing the national anthem, but didn't we take a peek and it's Usher
I think there's
that's
Usher is.
doing the halftime show?
I think he's one of them.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be multiple, but I think he was the first one accredited or named that's going to be performing. So that's really exciting that we got to see that so far. I wonder who else is going to be coming.
Yeah, it looks like
Looks like there's a little bit of a stir about this, but I'm not sure if
oh.
they've actually named anybody who's going to be singing.
Yeah, okay. So national anthem is
Oh,
going to be done by Reba McEntire. That's who it's going to be. America the Beautiful is going to be done by Post Malone. And the Lift Every Voice and Sing is going to be done by uh,
Andrea Day.
Andrea Day. Very interesting. We do have a winner here, $255.49. It's going out to Patriot over at VFW Blaine. Great job to you, Patriot, in this game six, as we now get enrolled into a game number seven, with that minor prize reverting back to 52 balls or less. But that $33.20 Musco prize will remain. So it should be a lot of fun as we continue to work through this game, as we wait to see how large that Musco is going to be as we get after it.
Absolutely awesome stuff. But we were talking about this year's Super Bowl, and it looks like it's happening on February 11th. Doesn't the Super Bowl happen in March? Or am I crazy?
I think you're crazy.
I'm crazy.
Yeah, yeah. The Super Bowl is definitely it.
I don't know why I thought it was in March every year.
Yeah, I mean, it's right around the corner. February 11th, yeah,
Yep.
is when it's gonna happen. I was like, I gotta make sure, as I know that it's not always the same day, because obviously we're celebrating at this day in history where an artist did perform
Yeah.
at the Super Bowl. But yeah, for sure this year is February 11th. Should be a lot of fun. But that's a weird pregame lineup with Reba as the national anthem, America the Beautiful, Post Malone, and Lift Every Voice and Sing by Andrea Day. Very,
Mhm.
very interesting. I'm going to be very interested to hear Post Malone's version of America the Beautiful.
Well, I mean, he's got an amazing voice,
Oh, he
and so
does.
I'm interested.
Reba's the one I'm more like, why do we have Reba doing this?
Yeah, that
But
might be a call to the backlash that they have been receiving.
that might be what
They're like, Reba will save this.
Reba will save this. That's super funny. Uh,
America's voice. Well, that's some awesome stuff. We're super excited about the Super Bowl. Let's take a peek and see who's been named for the
y-
halftime.
yeah, it looks like Usher will be
Okay.
headlining the performance.
Yeah.
But I wonder who else is going to, because it's never just the one
No.
person that headlines it. It's usually a boatload of different guest stars, and I haven't done enough looking around to see if there's anybody else that has been even rumored about it. But it should be interesting. Usher is a great performer, and so he'll definitely put on a show for the Super Bowl.
Absolutely awesome stuff. That is great, and I can't wait till it gets a little bit closer so we have some more to talk about and speculate about the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
But
guessing how long Reba McEntire's over under for for her
ooh,
national anthem.
yeah.
I always love that. That's one of my favorite bets of the. I've never put down a singular sports gambling bet ever in my life,
This might be the year.
but I might do it on a national anthem bet.
That's
Like, I
super
think
funny.
because that's like so just like 50-50 chances. Like,
Yeah.
what are you're just guessing, like, if
Mhm.
they're going to go long or if they're going to go short on it. And so I might try and do a fun little guess on that one. But that would be the most sports betting I'll ever do.
Well, it is officially time to start planning out your Super Bowl party. So whether you're having a potluck or fully supply in, today is the day to maybe kick things in motion.
Absolutely. Another thing you should kick in motion is signing up at pgl.world to become a member of our league. You can compete for points and get exclusive insider info. Plus, we got a monthly newsletter that's packed with a ton of awesome info you won't want to miss. We also highlight any player who goes on over to pgl.world and gets signed up, as we love highlighting those new names in our Pilot Gambling League.
Absolutely. A couple of those new players include Tams Maltz 4, Jabber 469, Killian, Rosie 89, Tag, Danny Kitty, Bold Moves, McGee, Marlin, L Pen 17, Drewski, Frofro, and even City Angel 80.
Yeah, good job to all those players getting signed up at PGL.world. Hopefully, we see you guys work your way into our PGL top 10s, as we'll be competing for those awesome points during tomorrow night at 6:40 during that MegaSota game night. And me and Jordy will actually be live on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. for a Wild Wednesday. Should be a lot of fun, as we love competing for these awesome PGL standings. We will be going over these PGL top 10s in just a bit. Should be a lot of fun. But do you have a team that you're rooting for from the do you have a matchup in the Super Bowl that you're looking for, that you would like? I know that you're obviously
Yeah, I want the
rooting,
Lions for sure.
yeah, Lions over the San Francisco 49ers.
For sure.
But then you got Ravens going up against the Chiefs. Who are you going to be
Okay.
rooting for there? You got red and white.
Probably Ravens.
Then you got black and purple.
Yeah.
Ravens are the more exciting team. I
Yeah.
agree. As you know, Chiefs, they've been good for a while. It's kind of a boring team to have in there.
Wow, we star-studded players out there today, as we have none other than Cher herself taking home $59. Nicely done to Cher. Wish it was a bigger jackpot for you, but nicely done on that Musco prize. Hopefully you guys are continuing to get enrolled in this next game, game number 8.
Yeah, definitely awesome stuff to you, Cher. And I will never know if I am I am envisioning Cher or Morticia Adams in my head. If
Pretty similar.
like, I literally don't know who.
Young Cher looks a lot like Morticia.
Like, if I'm thinking, like, when I think of Cher, like, I think of a specific picture, but when I think of Morticia Adams, I think of the same specific
Picture.
picture. I have no idea which one it is.
I need to see the picture that you think of.
Well, as soon as I look it up, I'm gonna find out which one it is, who it is.
Yes.
But I think it's really, really funny to just think of that. I have no idea which one is Morticia Adams.
That's okay. That's a pretty funny one to get misconstrued
I
with.
do. It's because they're both so out of my, like, fame knowledge.
Yeah.
Like, they're just like at the end scope of my fame knowledge. Like, even though the Adams family was a huge one, my family was never into like the spooky
See, if
show
you
kind of.
combine Cher and Morticia, you get my mother.
That's very true. That's very true.
That's literally my mother.
That's Yeah, yeah, I like that. Well, definitely a funny one there. Good job, Cher, getting the win. But Jordy made her Super Bowl prediction as she said Ravens Lions in the Super Bowl. I like that pick. I think it's a pretty
The
fun
one to
one.
go with, yeah,
Yeah,
obviously.
I'll go. Ooh.
Chiefs Lions.
No, I think I'm gonna root for the same one as you. I think that
Nice.
seems.
Usually he tries to be a little bit different than me,
I do like to be
but
contrarian, but
when you know it's a good call, you know it's a good call.
well, I was about to highlight PGL standings before we got all distracted about NFL action and our winner there. As we get enrolled into this next game, we're going to hop into our PGL top 10s. As 10th place is Dilly Bars over at JJ Bowl and Lounge with 232,000 points. With 233,000 points in ninth place, we have BNN over at the Rock Bottom. Eighth place is Steph and Jeff over at the Municipal Liquor Store Rogers with 236,000 points. With 48,000 points in seventh place, we have Drumsky at the Underground Bar and Grill. Sixth place is Bassy Blings over the Wheelhouse with 258,000 points. With 63,000 points in fifth place, we got Joe M over at the Sandbar 2. Fourth place is Sloppy at Malone's Bar and Grill with 266,000 points. As our third place player, Rakuda, over at Devo Sandbar, sits with 275,000 points. With 288,000 points in second place, we have Melly13 over at the Barrel House Bar and Cafe. As our number one player in our PGL nights is Jay Lav over at Tasty Pizza Bar and Bowl with 393,000 points.
Wow, we nicely done to those awesome players in that top 10. The locations that you guys have been playing at have also been taking home those PGL points. And kicking it off in 10th place is the Sandbar 2 of Detroit Lakes. They have 263,000 points. Ninth place ended up being the Pickle Factory of Niçoise, as they currently sit with 264,000 points. That is a location that I would absolutely love to check out. Eighth place, though, we have Malone's Bar and Grill of Maple Grove, as they are currently sitting with 266,000 points. 275,000 points for seventh place, the Devo Sandbar of Gilbert. Sixth place is the Barrel House Bar and Cafe of Coon Rapids, as they have 288,000 points. 315,000 points for fifth place, the Riverside Store and Tavern of Litchfield, while in fourth, JJ's Bowl and Lounge of North Branch currently sits with 354,000 points. 386,000 points for third place, the Super Bowl of Ramsey. Second place is the Tasty Pizza Bar and Bowl of St. Francis, as they have 393,000 points. And then our number one location is Underground Bar and Grill Mankato. They are currently sitting with 457,000 points.
Congratulations, Underground Bar and Grill, dominating these standings, led by some of our top players like Drumsky, who is playing over there, as we wait to see as they continue to earn a boatload of points. As we are coming down to the last little bit of this game right here, we do have a shot at this minor jackpot. We'll see if it can go out right here, 54 balls or less. Doesn't look like it as we move on to a $22.70 Musco with Big Earn right now, one ball away. We'll see if they end
Yeah.
up taking it home, as now so-and-so is right now one ball away as well.
There it is, as Big Earn gets to take away that prize over at American Legion Shakopee. Nicely done, $22 going out to you on that awesome Musco prize. Make sure you guys continue to get enrolled in what will be a game number 9 now. You guys definitely want to get enrolled as we have that minor jackpot back to 56 balls or less.
What is Ernie short for?
Ernest.
Ernest, thank you. Ernest Hemingway, yeah, duh. I'm such an idiot. Well, as we continue to get enrolled into these games, let's talk about some wild news. They're 2021 and 5 on the season, and they're coming off another win. And guess who's back? Kirill the Thrill is back, as he
Ooh!
scored 3 goals in his his career hat trick, and Joel Erikssonek had a tie-breaking goal in the third period to lead Minnesota Wild to a 5-2 win over the Carolina Hurricanes on Sunday.
Beautiful.
Jake Middleton also scored for the Wild in their third win in 4 games after losing 8 of 9. Philip Gustafsson stopped 40 shots. These are the type of games that we won last year, and we haven't really found a way to win this year, Gustafsson said. We've got 2 or 3 on this road trip, and it's some playoff teams we have to play against. Hopefully, we can build on it.
Absolutely. They've got the right mindset and hopefully they can keep up that momentum. It seems like things are finally getting back on track for the
Yeah.
Wild. They had a good start in the beginning, kind of got a
Well, bad,
little,
really bad start
yeah.
with Dean Evanson, and then really great start with John Himes as the head
That's kind
coach.
of how I feel when their season started.
That's how you feel about the season,
Yeah,
yeah.
once they got under new management, that's when the season really started
That
for them.
it did feel that way as we just went on a tear in those first like 15
Yeah.
games after not even 15, probably only 10 games after getting John Hines, and then those injuries just kept on building up. We were able to scrape through a few wins in the early portions of those
Hmm.
injuries, but then it just got to the point where we were putting out third string, fourth string guys that should have never seen the ice, and so it was just one of those things where we needed to play a little bit better. And now that we're getting healthy, we're seeing that play increase once again. We'll send some luck over to our Wild by playing the great ETAP game. Let's go Wild. Even check out that slap shot bonus round. See if you could score yourself a jackpot prize. It's definitely a lot of fun to get after. So make sure you guys are out there playing. Should be a lot of fun. As let's check in with where our Wild are at in those standings. As our Minnesota Wild have been at the bottom of that division for a while now, and we're still down there near the bottom, right ahead of the Blackhawks and right behind the Blues. Hopefully, we can go on a stretch of wins and catch up to those Coyotes and Blues, as those guys are in reachable distance for us, as they're only 2 games ahead of us. But I think
Hmm.
we'll need to go on a dominant stretch.
Absolutely. And so hopefully we can keep this momentum up as we face off against our next game. It's definitely going to be a lot of fun once they take the ice again. And so we'll have to see if they can really keep that steady.
Oh, absolutely. Should be some exciting stuff there. As we are getting after in this game right here, balls dropping. We got a 56 ball or less minor prize sitting at $91.09. We got that major prize still at 53 balls or less, $5,377. And the mega prize of $46,789. We'll continue to work on these awesome jackpot prizes as we got players creeping ever so closer.
Absolutely. And as these players continue to creep on closer, if they end up taking home one of these great jackpot prizes, and it's one of you guys out there watching us right now, just hear our warning and make sure you guys take that player picture when you take home a jackpot. We would love to see it. We definitely want to see all your smiling faces out there, whether it be you holding up that jackpot message, holding up your favorite ETAP game, or just really you having fun with your friends or local bartender. We want to see it. You guys can share those player pictures directly to us on our Facebook page. You can post them on any social media with the hashtag Pilot Games, or you can email them directly to us at jackpots@pilotgames.com.
Yeah, and don't listen to Jordy's threat, as it is not mandatory. You don't have to send them in. Maybe send in just a picture of the jackpot with your bar logo behind it as well, so you can highlight where you're playing at,
Maybe a
taking home
nice
that good
brew right
cash.
next to it.
Yeah, wherever it is, send in that awesome player picture. It's definitely an awesome time. But back to our bingo right here as we are closing in on 49 balls dropped in this game right here. We got 4 balls away for Cheryl, Mass, Mike, Hubby, as well as Bonaparte. As we got Mike now 3 balls away. We'll see if we can, as we continue to work on it, as we try and give out this prize. We'll be talking about our Vikings in just a little bit, as it's off season, off season, off season talk all week long. As we are season's done, finish the season 7-10, and we're hoping to, as we have the number 11th pick and a bunch of free agent moves to come, that we can make some big splashes.
We do have Patty over at American Legion Shakopee getting to take away $24. Nicely done taking away that great must go prize in this game number 9. We're about to get enrolled in our 10th round of game day bingo. Make sure you guys continue to get enrolled.
Yeah, definitely get enrolled. Press play as we continue to get after it. As we continue to get after it, will be. I think this is a game number 10.
I think you're right.
Yeah, game number 10 of Ice Game Day Bingo. We're going to highlight 4 potential cap casualties for the Vikings.
Absolutely. Our first one is safety Harrison Smith.
This would be one of the saddest cap casualties of all time. I mean, we're talking about a guy that is just Minnesota, just been a part of these defenses for so many years. It would be so hard to let him go as a cap casualty. He needs to retire. If it's gonna happen like that, the Notre Dame fighting Irish legend, I think, needs to retire from this team. If that's the case, he has made a few comments about that retirement may be around the corner, but he doesn't want to retire until he feels like he has nothing left to
To
give
give,
the game.
yeah.
And so that's kind of the situation we're in. He's at 34 years old now, so he is on the bad side of 30, and so it's one of those situations where you can't re-sign him to a bigger deal. And right now he's already got a contract that maybe isn't what he performs at, but it's paying him for what he has done for the team, not what he is doing.
Yeah.
And so it's an interesting spot to be at. I would be super sad to see him go, as just when you think of that Vikings defense, you think of Harrison Smith.
Well, we're also going to be taking a peek at DN Harrison Phillips.
Yeah, this is another guy that, even though he's maybe not a Vikings legend, he hasn't been with the Vikings for a very, very long time. He's 100% one of those guys that is a culture guy. He brings in a give back to the community culture. He's always going to be one of your top candidates for Walter Payton Man of the Year whenever that award comes around in the year, as he's just always so ingrained in the community. He's a great guy personality wise that gets along with his teammates, and plus he clogs up that middle pretty dang well. And so again, another guy I'd be sad to see, but not necessarily as disappointed as I would be seeing like a Harrison Smith go.
Absolutely. We do have another defensive lineman on the list that we're going to be taking a peek at as we're looking at Dean Laurie.
Yeah, he probably is going to be a cap casualty. He's not one of those guys I
Okay.
would necessarily be as sad about, as
Hmm.
that could definitely be the case. As there's going to be some dudes that aren't going to be on this
Yeah.
team that were on here last year. He has 8 years of playing experience, so he's been in the league for a long time. We know what we're going to get out of him, and
Hmm.
he just didn't put up any kind of stats for us this past year, and so I don't see him as that guy for us. And then last but not least, we got Nick Mullins, the guy who was our backup quarterback this year. Obviously, I think that we may end up signing him just to be our backup quarterback, especially if Kirk Cousins sticks around. But I think we're going to the draft to pick up a young quarterback. We don't want the same situation as last year, and I don't think Nick Mullins wants to be in our situation as we had him in last year. And so I think that young quarterback is going to come over, take over that second string quarterback role, and Nick Mullins is getting the boot.
Well, we'll have to see everything that happens with our Vikings, and we'll keep you updated as news comes out. If you guys want to give us some support for our Vikings, we've teamed up with them for a great ETAB game called Vikings Victory. You guys can even pick the lucky letter in the Skull bonus round, trying to take home some jackpot prizes.
It's definitely a lot of fun. We love that Vikings themed game, as we are playing right now an awesome Vikings themed game. A little bit of this game day bingo action. You guys should be playing Vikings themed game day bingo all the way till around 4 p.m. Then from 4 to 6, to me and Jordy will come back to play some wild themed game day bingo with you
Oh,
guys,
yeah.
as we're having a lot of fun here. You guys, no matter when you're playing this game day bingo, you're earning points towards the game day bingo standings. Before we go over those awesome game day bingo standings, we'll be talking about the winners here, as well as I'll just talk a little bit more about our Vikings as we wait. As I'm definitely interested. It does look like Kirk Cousins is being looked at as the gem of the offseason for quarterbacks. Not the kind of news that we want to hear for our Vikings, as we are going to have a lot of competition trying
Trying
to
to keep
sign
him, yeah.
Kirk Cousins. It's going to be an interesting situation. I think there's a lot of teams that would love to have a Kirk Cousins on their roster, where they feel like they're really, really good, but they just don't have that quarterback to just basically man the ship for the time being. And
Hmm.
a lot of teams view Kirk Cousins as that guy, as the Vikings do as well. And so I think Kirk Cousins, hopefully we can pull him back in, just due to our hometown crowd. And he's been here for the last, I think, 7 years. But before after since
I got some winners I got to talk about from this great round, as Hubby as well as Livewire both get to split up $29 on that great Musco prize. Nicely done to all of our winners here in this great round of Game Day Bingo. We're about to get enrolled in our 11th game, our second to last one here live. So make sure you guys continue to get enrolled. As you are going to jump into this next game, we have some standings to talk about, as you guys have been competing for those Game Day Bingo standings all season long.
Starting off in ninth place, we got High Gen over at JR Mac. two-way tie in seventh between Mike at Sherwood Lounge and Rock Rider over the Incline Station Bowling Center. Fifth place is another two-way tie between Cheese over the Beartown Lounge and Stingray over the Lodge on Lake Mazaska. Fourth place is Snowflake at Eagles Rochester, as our third place player is Brizo over at the Underground Bar and Grill. Our number two player was Ben W over at Elnam Bar, as our number one player was Call Me Jen over at JR Mac.
Nicely done to that entirety of those players. Great stuff in those standings. The locations, however, jump into a three-way tie in ninth place between Moe's, Eagles Albert Lay, and Beer Stew Ember Grove Heights. There's a tie in seventh that was formed between Duffy's Bar and Grill, as well as the Double Wide. Sixth place is the Underground Bar and Grill, while in fifth it's the Medford Liquor Store. Fourth place is VFW Spring Lake Park, while in third, Carboni's Pizza Sea, our billiards currently sits. Second place is L&M Bar, and in first place, home to our first place player, it is J.R. Mack.
Yeah, great job to JR Mac. 87,000 points going out to you in that awesome
So
game day
far,
bingo
yeah.
games that we've been playing throughout the season. Only 22 days into this season, as we'll be playing this game day bingo over the next 5 months, as we're closing in on 1 month down in this 6 month season. Should be a lot of fun as we continue to compete for those points. As you guys are competing for these points in the next 30 seconds, we're going to be going over some celebrity birthdays. Our first one is a huge celebrity birthday, as this could have even been classified as music history.
Absolutely. As in on today in 1931, Sam Cooke was born, the American singer and entrepreneur who is described as the inventor of soul music. He is most known for You Send Me and A Change Is Gonna Come.
Yeah, one of the greatest inventors of sound. Just a guy that was super creative and made a lot of iconic work super popular and boosted a whole genre into the spotlight.
Absolutely great stuff.
Yeah, happy birthday, Sam Cooke. Just one of those iconic voices.
Absolutely. Next up, just a few years later in 1934, we've got Bill Bixby, the American actor, director, and producer, did the original Incredible Hulk, as well as The Courtship of Eddie's Father, and even My Favorite Martian.
Super fun stuff. I'm not necessarily familiar with him and his works, but he stars in The Incredible Hulk with Lou Ferrigno, as he stars as David Banner within that series. So he's the other side of that Hulk. Definitely a fun one. That's what he's probably most known for, is playing Banner. But awesome stuff. Happy birthday, Bill Bixby.
Yeah, also in a few Agatha Christie adaptations onto film as well. Awesome
Really?
stuff.
Ah, very interesting stuff.
Hmm.
Next up, born in 1957, we got Mike Bossy, the Canadian Hockey Hall of Fame right wing. Won the Stanley Cup in 1980, 1981, 1982, and in 1983. Was the Com Smith Trophy Award winner in 1982, and a seven-time NHL All-Star for those New York Islanders.
Very cool stuff. Happy birthday, Mike Bossy.
Yeah, definitely a funny name as well. Yeah, spending his entire career with those Islanders and was a crucial part of that awesome championship run. Happy birthday.
Next up, we have Michael Hutchins. He is the Australian vocalist. He was in INXS. He did The Devil Inside and New Sensation. He was also an actor in Dogs in Space.
Very interesting resume right there, as I'm not necessarily familiar with his works. Very funny, though, that he was an actor as well. Um, Definitely a cool one. Happy birthday to Michael Hutchinson.
Absolutely.
Last up, born on today in 2179, we got Hikaru Walter Sulu, the fictional Star Trek character born in San Francisco, California.
We do have Live Wire as well as Ray getting to split up $32 on that awesome Musco prize. Nicely done to all of our winners here in this game number 11 of Game Day Bingo. We're about to get enroll in our 12th round, our last one that Ian and I will be here live live. But don't worry, there's a ton more opportunities for game day bingo, and you guys will be jumping into your first opportunity at Lucky 4 Bingo after this next game. Make sure you guys are sticking around and continuing to get
Yeah,
enrolled.
lucky for bingo, 115 grand
Oh,
on the
yeah.
line. It should be a lot of fun. But as you guys are getting enrolled into this game of game day bingo, let's highlight our Timberwolves as they are 30-12 on the year, but coming off of a loss as the Oklahoma City Thunder rallied to beat the Timberwolves 102 to 95 on Saturday night in a matchup of top teams in the Western Conference standings. Anthony Edwards and Karl-Anthony Towns each had 19 points for Minnesota, and Naz Reid added an 18. The Timberwolves, who won 4 in a row to regain the West #1 spot after losing 4 of 6 to drop behind Oklahoma City. It's as simple as being better with the ball, Town said. I thought we gave ourselves a chance to end the game, just didn't find a way to win today. They hit some shots when they had to. Shout out to them. All respect to them. We've got to figure it out next game. He added, definitely a great quote there by Towns, just talking about how they need to get better on the defensive end. That's for sure, as we need to be able to guard that 3-point shooting better. But more importantly, we can't be limited on offense like that. We have some of the better scorers in the NBA, with Anthony Edwards being a guy that can consistently drop 30 points a game, and Karl-Anthony Towns being a guy that should always be in the 20-25 points scored range as well if we want to win against teams like the Oklahoma City Thunder. And so definitely need some better performances from our two offensive powerhouses. But good to see that Naz Reid still was able to add an 18 points, as he's the X factor of this team, coming off the bench and giving that offensive influx whenever we start to get cold. It's definitely a great to see some of these players still playing to their best ability, but we need to be more offensively consistent.
Absolutely. And hopefully we can see that tonight in their game against the Hornets at 7 p.m. tonight. Should be really awesome stuff when they go up against them. And hopefully we can get another win under our belt.
Hopefully, should be some great stuff. As we're getting after some great stuff, we do have some movies released on today, as we have released on today in 2010.
The Tooth Fairy.
Yes, this is back when The Rock was one of my favorite actors, as he was putting out The Tooth Fairy, The Game Plan. It was just some really good stuff for us kids, as he was just doing some really fun works. And it also has Julie Andrews in it, which is, I mean, an awesome throw in into this movie. And crazy that they were able to get her into that movie.
Absolutely. It's super, super funny stuff. Yeah, I feel like Tooth Fairy got really pushed to the background for me because of the game plan.
Really?
Yeah, that was always my Disney
Okay.
rock classic.
Uh huh.
But this is a good one too. I love 2010 and that time period of The Rock doing so many different works like Journey to the Center of the Earth, Witch Mountain
See,
he's
Journey of
in.
the Center of Earth was the start of my dislike of The Rock. Like
Really?
after that was when, like, because right before that he did the Fast and Furious franchise, where I thought
I
he
didn't
was
watch any of
he was
that.
so cool as the military guy in the Fast and Furious franchise. But then with him and uh
Journey,
him and
Josh Hutcherson.
what's no,
Oh,
let me finish. Him with the bald guy from Pacifier. Um,
Vin Diesel.
yeah, Vin Diesel. They couldn't act together. Like they couldn't even be in the same room together, and so he couldn't be a part of the Fast and Furious
Mm,
franchise like that anymore. So that was disappointing. And then Journey to the Center Earth, I didn't like as much as I enjoyed the original set of cast with Brendan Fraser as the father figure within that movie. And so it was just, it started to go downhill after that.
well, The Tooth Fairy released on today in 2010. Awesome, awesome stuff. Next up, and also 2010 on today, we have Legion.
Yeah, this one's a interesting one on today. It stars Paul Bettany, as well as William Holland. It does look like we don't have balls dropping on this game, which is really disappointing, as we were hoping to give out a nice jackpot prize in this one. As you guys get enrolled, I'm going to be taking a quick break. We'll be back in just a second. Dennis Quaid, all stars within that movie. Definitely some cool stuff on today in movie history. But we did have a little bit of a technical difficulty as we played that final game of Game Day Bingo and would love to highlight our winners.
That's right. As getting to take home that $215 prize, we had Lolo, who was playing over at VFW Owatonna. Nicely done to our final jackpot winner here in this awesome lunchtime show. Before you guys jump into your game of Lucky 4 Bingo and Ian and I go off air, we have a very important player we need to highlight.
Absolutely. It's Big Worm Dog over at American Legion Adams. They took home $7,770, the largest jackpot of the weekend. And over at American Legion Adams, they support the American Legion Post 146 Adams. Their mission is to enhance the well being of Americans' veterans, their families, our military, and our community by devotion to mutual helpfulness. Just an awesome mission there, and a reminder that when you guys are playing pilot games, your community wins.